Hi, my name is Briana Chua, and I'm one of the founding members of Arizona Injury Law Group. I am also a certified specialist in workers' compensation by the State Bar of Arizona. This video is intended to help you understand repetitive, or sometimes called gradual injuries. Many work injuries are obvious. Falling off a roof and breaking your ankle, lifting a box and feeling an immediate pop and shooting pain down your leg. But sometimes an injury is not so obvious. Sometimes injuries such as a herniated disc in your back or a rotator cuff tear in your shoulder can be the result of repetitive work activities. Even the strongest people can be injured over a period of time. The hardest part about repetitive injuries is proving that they have a relationship to your work activities. In order for a claim to be accepted as an industrial responsibility, you have to be injured in the course and scope of your employment. With a gradual or repetitive type of injury, you will need strong medical support for your contention that your injury is related to your work and not solely related to a pre-existing condition, prior surgery, or even just degenerative changes that naturally occur to everyone over time. In other words, you will need a doctor to help you determine whether your work activities contributed even a little bit to your injury and current symptoms for which you are seeking treatment. Once you have your doctor's opinion, you should talk to an attorney to determine whether you have a strong case. Even if your doctor says that you are just getting old, you may still be able to have your condition covered under workers' compensation law. Not all doctors take workers' compensation claims or want to be involved in court hearings and litigation. They're very time-consuming. It's also possible that you did not give your doctor a very good history in the beginning, and he or she did not remember that you had the pain that began at work. Workers' compensation cases can be very time-consuming, especially for the doctors who are already very busy. You may need to ask the doctor to consider getting a second opinion or going to a specialist before you decide whether to pursue a workers' compensation claim. In order to preserve your rights, you must file an industrial claim at the Industrial Commission of Arizona. The claim form you complete will require you to give an exact date of injury. If your doctor is filling out a physician's report of injury, a specific date of injury will be required on that form as well. Determining which date to use in a gradual injury claim can be difficult and tricky. It can also cause a problem if you choose the wrong date of injury. For instance, if your date of injury is not within 1 year of the filing date of the claim, you may have a problem because there is generally a 1-year statute of limitations for filing an industrial claim in Arizona. Therefore, if you can, you should really try to speak to an attorney before even filing a claim if you have a gradual or repetitive injury. Sometimes your pain may start when you're lifting something very light or hardly doing anything at all. Sometimes with repetitive or gradual injury claims, it is the culmination of activities or activities over time that contribute to your eventual injury. So, for example, if your job is to lift hundreds of boxes of varying weights and put them on a conveyor belt, but at the moment you felt a pop in your shoulder, you happened to be lifting a box that weighed a mere 5 pounds instead of 50 pounds, your doctor may need to consider the fact that before lifting a 5-pound box, you lifted thousands of pounds of boxes over many hours, days, weeks, months, years that you worked for your employer. You have to consider the whole picture. And just because your pain started when you were lifting a very light weight or merely bending over to pick something up, that doesn't necessarily mean your injury is not work-related. You may have an opportunity to read an X-ray or an MRI report or even your doctor's report reviewing the diagnostic studies that have been taken. Sometimes the phrases such as chronic tear or degenerative disc disease will be written down. These words may be discouraging, especially if you know that you were hurt at work recently. Do not let these words discourage you, however, from either filing an industrial claim or seeking legal advice as to whether you should or could file a successful claim for benefits. You need to make the decision based on how you feel, what you know about your body, the type of work that you do or did, your doctor's specialty, and his or her willingness to be involved in a workers' compensation claim. For instance, maybe you had a degenerative or chronic condition related to age or an old injury you didn't even know about because it was asymptomatic. You may have aggravated or exacerbated a pre-existing condition which can be accepted for benefits. A doctor's interpretation of the diagnostic study is necessary to know the significance, or lack thereof, of the words chronic or degenerative in your particular case. An attorney can help you look at your particular set of facts, history, and medical records to determine whether you should be concerned about these types of words.